Bodybuilding for me is it's like a way of life. True bodybuilding is self-discipline and self-mastery at the highest level. There's a spiritual aspect to it that is very hard to explain unless someone has gone through a contest prep themselves. I'm food deprived, but I still have to train, still have to stay dedicated to this cause to be able to deny yourself of the pleasures of life in order to achieve a certain goal. It all kind of started with bodybuilding, specifically competitive bodybuilding. Towards my senior year of high school, I did track, I played football. I was an active kid, and I met a bodybuilder there, and he was prepping for a show, and I had never seen someone that big in my life, and that was when I realized that this is a possibility. This is something that someone can do. And the first thing that came to my mind, I want to look like that. So, being the cocky little kid I am, I approached him and I said, hey, how do I look like that? How do I get big arms? Which now I'm, where I am today. That's the one thing you don't just go ask a bodybuilder, right? What are you supposed to tell you? But he was nice enough, and he was basically like, kid, you gotta train hard, eat the whole shebang. And I would see him at the gym from time to time, and I would basically copy what he was doing. And over time, I fell in love with it. I found pumping iron. That was my main intro into actual competitive bodybuilding to know what it was about, and that taught me, the basics of what competitive bodybuilding was. So in 2016, I decided to go into a bodybuilding novice class at that show, and then I took a hiatus. Getting out of college as a young adult, you're kind of trying. It made me realize that wow, this is something that I really love, and if bodybuilding was to end for me today, I've done nothing. So I told myself, you don't go through a prep looking for motivation. Newsflash, motivation's not there. The motivation dies after 5 weeks. Once you've been going through 40 to 90 minutes of cardio every single day, the first 2 weeks, it's great. By week seven, week eight, you know, that's 42 days of just doing that straight. Like, forget the prep. Think about off season, right? You're done with your contests, whenever you placed or whatever. Okay, now I can go ahead and eat pizzas all day if I want to. You can't. That's not bodybuilding. You're not a bodybuilder. It doesn't matter what season you're in. You do it. Physiologically, you feel very different in a prep versus when you're in contest. For context, I was 285 pounds at the peak of my off season. I do not feel ready to run on a treadmill or be on a stairmaster. Right, I'm sluggish. I'm eating all day, and it got to a point where I would walk the block around the block with my girlfriend, and I'm like, "Start. Your diet's the same, everything's the same, but now, the cardio, maybe you're pushing a little bit harder. The prep in the off season, I can get away with doing on a stairmaster, doing level 4 on a stairmaster, right? In a prep, I need to raise my heart rate. You're going to level 7. And of course, if you have a free meal here and there, maybe go out with the girlfriend for dinner or something like that, those get taken out too. That's where the shift comes. But honestly, the shift starts to really come when you start seeing the results. When the fat starts to drop, you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning, you've got some veins, you're like, okay, yeah, let's keep going. Again, I have a goal where I need to get to. These are the things that I need to do to make sure I get to that goal. And every single day, as long as I hit those check boxes, I know that I'm going to get there because
I don't ever slow up, no I don't.
we don't talk about this a lot, but every amateur bodybuilder goes through this at some point. Even pros till today still go through this at some point, which is that question of, do I have it? Do I actually have it? You see those questions all the time online, like, someone will send you a picture of themselves